The first lab-grown human. When will it happen? Welcome back to School of Soul. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and today we're asking a question that sits at the edge of science, ethics, and reality. When will the first lab-grown human be born? I'm not talking about IVF or surrogacy. I mean a human conceived without traditional sperm and egg, grown entirely outside the body, in a synthetic womb. It sounds futuristic, but the timeline is closing fast. The pieces are already in place. The question is no longer, can we? It's, when will we admit that it's already been done? Let's look at what we already know. Artificial wombs have existed in prototype form for years. In 2017, a team in Philadelphia successfully kept premature lambs alive for 4 weeks in a fluid-filled biobag, a sterile container that mimics amniotic conditions. Since then, researchers in Japan, the Netherlands, and Israel have refined this model. At the same time, scientists have created synthetic mouse embryos from stem cells. No sperm, no egg, no uterus. These embryo-like clusters began forming organs, including beating hearts and brain structures. None of these projects have officially been applied to humans, but biologically and technically, the jump is small. The systems to support full-term artificial gestation already exist in fragmented form. The challenge is no longer technological. It's legal, political, and psychological. Most countries prohibit human embryo research beyond 14 days. That cutoff was established long before today's breakthroughs. Scientists are already lobbying to change it. And let's be honest, science doesn't stop at regulation. If something can be done, someone will do it. The first artificial human may not be created through a public research project. It will likely happen privately, quietly, funded by investors, governments, or private labs not bound by ethics boards. When it happens, we may not even hear about it until years later. Because the first generation of lab-grown humans probably won't be born into media attention. They'll be protected, isolated, watched. Why? Because public reaction will be messy. There will be fear, moral panic, religious backlash, political division. Some will ask if the child is fully human. Others will argue about rights, personhood, or whether synthetic birth counts as real birth at all. But all of that is noise. The child will be human. They'll feel, think, grow. They'll experience the world like any other child. But the conditions of their origin will shape how the world receives them. And more importantly, how they see themselves. Being the first of anything carries weight. A child born outside the womb won't just have a different medical file. They'll grow up in a world that projects curiosity, judgment, and fascination onto them. Their birth certificate might not list a mother. Their early environment will be sterilized and clinical. Their milestones may be watched more closely than most children's entire lives. And yet, they'll carry something ancient, the same desire for love, for belonging, for meaning. Some experts estimate that we'll see the first full human born from an artificial womb by 2035. Others think it could be much sooner, especially if it happens outside the spotlight. Either way, it's no longer theoretical. The market is preparing. Fertility companies are investing. Insurance models are being rewritten. Tech firms are building interfaces to monitor artificial gestation environments in real time. Once the systems are streamlined, once they can guarantee safe, measurable development from zygote to birth, parents will line up. Especially those who've struggled with infertility, trauma, or medical complications. But what's coming isn't just a medical option. It's a philosophical threshold. The womb has always been sacred, not just as a biological container, but as a spiritual bridge. The place where the soul enters. Where vibration, emotion, and genetic memory pass silently from mother to child. When that process is transferred to machines, we have to ask, what, if anything, gets lost? Do we lose the frequency of the mother's voice, the subtle rhythms of her heartbeat, the nonverbal coding that prepares a soul to enter this world through connection, not procedure? We don't have answers yet, but the question alone should slow us down, not to stop progress, but to shape it with wisdom. Because the child who is born from a machine may face challenges we can't predict. Bonding, regulation, identity. And it won't be enough to say they're fine because they're healthy. Health is not just physical. It's emotional, energetic, generational. We must be careful not to reduce life to output, to treat the child as a product of innovation rather than a being of infinite value. At the same time, we must resist panic. Artificial gestation is not evil. It could save lives, prevent preterm deaths, offer hope to those who've suffered reproductive loss, provide options to people excluded from traditional parenting. Technology, when aligned with ethics, can serve humanity. But it must serve the soul, not just science. And the conversation around lab-grown life must be led not only by scientists, but by philosophers, spiritual teachers, and those who carry a deep respect for the origin of life. When will the first lab-grown human be born? Possibly sooner than you think. Possibly already. And when it happens, everything will shift. Not because the child is different, but because the world will see birth differently. Life won't begin in intimacy. It will begin in a chamber. Not with labor pains, but with readouts. Not in blood, but in code. And we will be asked to decide, What kind of society receives this child? Will we honor them as equal, or study them like an experiment? Will we love them as our own, or observe them as something new? Because they won't be the anomaly for long. Once it happens once, it will happen again, and again, and again. Until birth becomes a system. Until reproduction becomes schedule-based. Until the womb becomes optional. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.